Now, KXLY4 team coverage of a wild chase in northeast Spokane today as police and sheriff's deputies pursued a stolen 18-wheeler on busy streets, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. Investigators say this man, 38-year-old Darren Allen Suter, led officers on a chase involving a stolen semi loaded with merchandise from Walmart. KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey working for you. He's at Dalton and Helena now. That's where the truck crashed into a car in a garage. Jeff?
Nadine, the truck has now been hauled away, but you can still see where the semi mowed down that wooden fence there. This all part of an elaborate criminal scheme to use a stolen tractor to hijack a trailer full of merchandise from the Airway Heights Walmart.
Extremely reckless, placing everyone in harm's way. I don't know how we'd stop it, but
it's the stuff Hollywood action films are made of. If you're desperate to make a getaway, a fully loaded semi is pretty hard to stop.
And all of a sudden, the semi crosses up onto the sidewalk, into the field, passing me on its right, and police are coming, but they're trying to get in front of him, but the semi is so big they can't.
Is there anybody that can get in front of it? We're fighting.
While police and sheriff's deputies thought about ways to slow the truck down, the driver evaded every obstacle in his path with little regard for anyone else's safety.
Well, they almost drove over me down here on Foothills. He passed on the, the turn lanes down there. That's where he passed on the corner.
And from there, the driver then plowed through this vacant lot and turned into a stranger's driveway, wrecking their car and garage.
Not every day a semi passes you on the right and through the field, and it was going fast.
The driver then jumped out of the truck and ran west on Dalton.
And the guy that stole the truck was just flying through the neighborhood, just running after he got out of the semi, was running, dropped his hat in my front yard, his coat somewhere in the middle of the street.
The suspect then tried hiding under a parked RV, but was quickly found by Deputy Jeff Thurman and his patrol dog Laszlo. The thief made the extra mistake of fighting with the canine.
You feel the adrenaline. I'm just like, it's like watching Cops, but live. It's crazy. It really is.
Late this afternoon, the sheriff's office identified the driver of the stolen truck as Darren Allen Suter. He's 38. He was booked into the Spokane County Jail on about a half dozen charges, including hit and run, looting, and possession of a stolen vehicle.
Man, that is just crazy, Jeff. So how did this pursuit all get its start?
Well, it's part of this plan where they stole this tractor from Broadway and I-90 overnight. Then about 5 o'clock this morning, this pair of thieves, they went out to the Airway Heights Walmart. They connected the tractor to the trailer. They drove it away, and they took it over close to Feltz Field. They were in the process of taking all the loot out of the trailer and throwing it into a white pickup truck when an alert citizen spotted that, considered suspicious. When sheriff's deputies arrived, the two thieves took off in their respective vehicles. The lone sheriff's deputy decided he needed to stay with the semi-tractor trailer. Reporting in Spokane, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.
Wow, that is something else. Thanks, Jeff. For a closer look at the damage left in the wake of that chase, we're now joined by KXLY4's Jack Ferris. He's also at Dalton and Helena. And Jack, you spoke with several witnesses today.
That's right, Nadine. Shock and relief are the two emotions that people had when describing what they saw this afternoon. Now, the physical damage, that's evident, but the potential for somebody to get harmed or even killed was obvious. Now, the scene at Columbia in Lidgerwood this afternoon was jarring. The sedan of a registered nurse who works at Holy Family Hospital just across the street had been totaled by the rogue semi. Along with it was a stop sign and a fire hydrant. Now, remarkably, no pedestrians were near the site as the giant vehicle plowed through the residential intersection at approximately 40 miles an hour. Neighbor Rick Garza witnessed the crash as it unfolded.
We're in my house in the porch drinking coffee, me and the wife, when I heard a lot of tires squealing, and me and the wife turned, and that guy just came barreling down the street, and I was still watching him when he bumped into the car and take off that way. I don't know how he made it, but he did.
Now, Garza went on to describe how shocked and thankful he was the chase happened when it did and not during a rush hour when children walked to school in that area. Now, while the nurse I mentioned, Nadine, was pretty upset at the state of her car, those around her, police, first responders, seemed pretty thankful that the damage was what it was. Reporting live from a very safe Logan neighborhood, Jack Ferris, KXLY4 News.
Wow, it's amazing nobody got hurt through all of that. Thanks a lot, Jack.